What's up, everybody? Welcome to BioS 3 Raw TV. Well, I ran through this kind of on my Instagram a little bit today, and it's weird because today I actually saw a post by someone I didn't follow. I don't know if you guys are Instagram or not, but go through your followers. You're going to find that there are people you never followed that you're following, which is really fucking weird. They're going to be people that follow you that are no longer following you, and they didn't unfollow you. Something really fucking weird going on with Instagram. And I'm like, looking at these people, and I'm like, dude, there's no reason for me to be following them. We have nothing in common. There's nothing interesting about them to me. I mean, no offense to them, but I'm like, I don't know why the fuck I'm following them. And there's strings of them. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, it's just a weird situation. So one of these people popped up that I didn't follow. And I was like, who the fuck is this person? So I clicked on it to see who it was. And the latest post was about it was day number 18 of gratitude, she was saying. Day number 18 of gratitude. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, already, this girl's annoying as fuck, and I don't even know anything about her. I didn't follow her. I don't know who she is. But I actually gone over something like that earlier during the day on my Instagram, and I talked about how, this year, Erin and I put the tree up in our house like 2 weeks ago. And she was like, why this year? I just explained to her, I said, I'm really into Christmas this year. I'm really into Halloween this year. I mean, I'm always into Halloween, but more so this year, I was really into these holidays coming up. And, she was like, yeah, you are. Why? And I was like, I think things have just changed with me in the last year. I think DMT had a little bit to do with it, to be honest with you. Psilocybin and DMT really opened my mind, expanded things to where I just look at things differently now. Things I cared about a year ago, I really don't give a shit about anymore. Things that I didn't know about a year ago, I know about now, and I care more about them. And one of those things is gratitude. It's actually living in a state of gratitude, which I have heard people say. And if you'd asked me, like, 2 years ago, Jerry, are you grateful for everything you have? I was like, yeah, I'm grateful, right? But I didn't understand what that meant, because grateful is not a word, it's not a fad, and it's turning into a fad. And I think because of people like Gary Vee who have the secret. Gary Vee has unlocked the secret to living in gratitude, which makes him happy all the time, right? Or at least content, right? Because happiness comes and goes, but contentness, that can be all the time. And people like Gary Vee have unlocked that secret. And when they say it to the public just goes, okay, I just got to live in gratitude. Like, I think it's some kind of answer that someone gave them when that's not really what it is, right? So from doing the DMT and doing the psilocybin, your ego kind of, the way that these medicines work is it encases your ego and pulls it away. It shuts down the part of your brain that actually has your ego in it. It destroys the ego for a little bit of time to let you see what else life is like without that ego. And that ego really does control us, and we need it. It's there for a purpose. It's there to protect us when we need it. But many of us, that ego just kind of grows and grows, and we keep feeding it, and it becomes our identity. Like, we become the ego. So everything that we do is like kind of self-served, and we really aren't concerned with other people, other things, other situations. We're only concerned with us, which is very sociopathic, although you're not a sociopath. It's sociopathic behavior because your ego is taking over and you're becoming egotistical, stuck up. That's all there is to it. But it's not like so apparent sometimes in people's faces. It's your thoughts and your actions that they're not realizing are super egotistical. So as this goes on, I told Erin, I kind of explained on Instagram too, that I basically live Christmas, right? This whole Christmas spirit everybody talks about, being thankful, living in gratitude, giving thanks, and Thanksgiving's coming up too, the holiday season in general. And then it's for a short period of time, and then the New Year starts, and it all fucking goes away, and everybody just starts their bullshit in the first of the year. Well, basically, I've been living Christmas. Now, Jerry, what do you mean by that? So that Christmas spirit I feel all the time. Like, I feel empathy towards other people. I feel like I want to help people more. Like, I feel like, I look at someone, I automatically think there's a lot more to them than what I'm looking at, right? I understand that person may look like they have their shit together today, but they may not up here right now, unless something awful might be going on. Or there might be somebody like a homeless guy that I saw near the gym who was down and out. And when I looked at him, I could tell by looking at him, he wasn't one of these people that are trying to scam money from people. He didn't ask anybody for anything. He was just laying there on the fucking ground near the gym when I walked out of the fucking gym. And I looked at him, and I could see how thin he was, how drawn he was. And he could have been on drugs. I don't fucking know. But the bottom line was, there was a person that was in need right there. And I saw that and I felt that. A few years ago, I would have seen it and been like, well, maybe he's on drugs. He did that to himself. Fuck him. I would have had that attitude. Like, he'll be all right. If I did it, he'll do it. That's the attitude I would have had. And what I did was, instead of having that attitude, I went back into the gym and I bought him $50 worth of protein cookies, protein bars, high-calorie weight gainers. And I brought him out to him. I got him big things of water because it was hot out and he had no shoes. So I gave him the food, and the people at the gym were like, Jerry, what are you doing? What the fuck? Like, why are you buying all this food? Like, I was putting it on my account. And I told him, I said, this guy outside is homeless, and I'm just looking at him. I can just tell that he's actually in need. And sometimes it just takes a helpful hand or just someone being kind to someone to completely turn your life around and say, hey, people out there still care. There's good people in the world. It's just kind of how, people don't really think nowadays. People were walking right by this guy, not even looking at him. They were aware he was there, but they weren't even paying attention to him. So I got home. Well, I went up to give him the food, and this guy was so grateful for this food. Now, this is after the DMT, after the psilocybin. He was so grateful for this food that I was giving him and the drinks that he looked at me and he touched my arm. He said, hey man, what are these tattoos? Like, he wanted someone to talk to. He had nobody, right? There was no family, no friends. There was nobody. It was just him. So I started explaining my tattoos and stuff. So here I am, like, kneeling down, we're talking about stuff. And, he has the bag of food and he says, he looks at this pile of stuff that he had. It was like trash bags and all, stuff that was his belongings. And he said, do you want some of my stuff? And I said, what? And I started to cry. He said, do you want some of my stuff in exchange for the stuff you gave me? And I went, no, I don't want that stuff. That's your stuff. Like, that's all you have. Why would you want to give that to me? And he said to me right in my face, it's only right. You gave me something. I owe you. And I stepped back and I was completely taken off guard. And many of these people just grab whatever it is out of your hands. They fucking gnaw at it real quick. I mean, they're in a bad place. But as bad a place he was in, he was so grateful for the things that I gave him that he wanted to give back as little as he had. Is that all of us right now watching this have way more than he had. And I guarantee you, we're not giving anything to anyone in need when we walk by people. Here's a guy who has nothing. He might have had like a bandana or a toothpick or a fucking book of matches, and he wanted to give it to me because I gave him food. That's real gratitude. You can feel that oozing out of someone, right? I came home. I started to cry. I told Erin, I have to go back. This guy's on the streets. He has no shoes on. He's got like this long sleeve sweatshirt on. It's 100 degrees out, humid as fuck. So I grabbed a bunch of clothes. I put them in a trash bag. I grabbed a pair of fucking Yeezys out of my fucking collection. And I went back and I took him the fucking Yeezys and the clothes. Now, I don't think he knows what Yeezys are, so I don't think he would have like sold them or whatever. And I gave them to him because I left and I came back and he's like, what are you doing? He's like, why are you doing this for me? I said, because you need help. You know what I mean? I can tell just by talking to you, you're not a bad guy. You tried to give me what little you had. I said, that resonates with me and I want to help you. I said, at least you'll have a pair of shoes. You don't have to walk in the hot cement. It's so hot in D.C. and in Virginia that you burn your feet. And he said, I know. That's why I'm under this like canopy thing is I'm trying to get as much shade as I can. And I said, you're out here sweltering in the sweatshirt. I said, do you have anything else? And he said, I have a couple T-shirts. He's like, but they're all ripped and of course, everything's dirty. I said, well, here's a couple tank tops because it's so fucking hot out. You need to let your body fucking try to cool down. Here's a couple T-shirts. Here's a sweatshirt for the winter when it gets colder out, a hoodie. Here's these sneakers. And he goes, oh, man. He goes, I said, I don't know if they're going to fit. And he goes, I don't care. He's like, I don't care. He's like, I'll just wear them. And what's funny is my buddy Manny, who Manny Meals, I call him. He owned a meal prep company up in New Jersey, I think it was. And his girlfriend and he work at Export Fitness. Kia and Manny work at Export Fitness. And he said, yeah, he goes, hey, man, I saw that guy outside. I said, yeah. I said, I gave him some food and stuff. I said, he didn't have any shoes. He goes, he had shoes on when I saw him. I said, what do they look like? And he described them. I said, those are the shoes I gave him. He goes, they were fucking Yeezys. I said, yeah, I gave him. He goes, you gave him fucking Yeezys? I'm like, yeah. I gave him a fucking pair of Yeezys. He doesn't know what the fuck they are. He doesn't give a fuck if they're Yeezys. They're shoes. His feet don't hurt anymore. He can walk and not burn his fucking feet. But the gratitude that came from this guy who had nothing, that was in a spot where he could have just been like, fuck it, whatever. I don't know this guy. I don't give a shit. I'm not going to thank him, nothing. I'll just fucking take this stuff. He wanted to talk to me about my tattoos and learn my story, right? And give me some of the things that he had, which was pretty much nothing, right? That was a big turning point in my life. You guys have no idea. Like, I can't express to you. Like, I got a lump in my throat right now the size of the Rock of Gibraltar. Like, I can't explain to you enough what changed me, what clicked on that day. And I was like, I don't want to say depressed, but I was hurt. I was hurt that day because deep down inside, I knew that this person was so struggling and he still thought more about other people than most of us do on a daily basis who are much better off. And it was a learning experience, right? And I felt more grateful for what I had and the things that I do on a daily basis and the people in my life because he had no one. He had nothing. I had great gratitude for the air conditioning that we have. I had gratitude for fucking my wife, who literally packed a bag full of food, including our Fiji waters, which are expensive as fuck. She packed a whole fucking zip-up cooler thing and gave him the whole fucking cooler with all the food in it, the water. She filed suit behind me like that immediately. Didn't even question me. As soon as I started putting clothes in it, she started filling stuff. She didn't even see the guy, didn't know him, nothing. She started filling that thing, and we gave him that fucking big zip-up cooler full of fucking food. We gave him clothes. We gave him a pair of Yeezys. And a lot changed in my life that day. A lot. And I realized that gratitude is not something that you just do. You just become, right? And I see these people like this girl on Instagram bastardizing it. 18 days of gratitude. What the fuck? So I started looking at this thing, and they're treating it like a fucking challenge. Like, I'm gonna be grateful until Christmas. And I'm like, what the fuck? That's not how it works. What you're doing is you're acting grateful. You're acting, and sometimes faking it till you make it works, right? But not in the sense that it has to come from here. You can only be grateful when you learn about yourself. You learn about yourself through other people. That's gratitude. And gratitude can't be given. It has to be learned. You have to go deep inside. It's soul searching. It's searching all the way to the fucking core of who you are and really going, do I really care about any of this shit around me? Do I only care about this shit around me? Do I care about people? Do I not give a shit about people? Like, you got to question yourself, right? You don't just get up in the morning and do exercises, mental exercises to be grateful. I mean, it's nice that you're acting and playing fucking grateful, which is bullshit. It's not real. But real gratitude, true gratitude comes from inside of you. Like, it's a search. It's a fucking adventure inside of you. Learning who the fuck you really are and what you're about. And I'll tell you what, once that switch flips, and it's like it flips slowly. Gratitude comes very slowly. You know what I mean? I started looking around at different things, like listening to people say stuff like, oh, I wish, I had a significant other because I've just had all these bad relationships, right? That was something that was kind of not thrown in my face, but brought to my attention by a few of my friends. I have a good friend right now, and she cannot find a nice guy to save her fucking life. She's an amazing girl. She's fucking awesome. She picks these fucking tool bags, and I like to bang all their fucking heads together because none of them are good enough for her. But she cannot attract the right guy no matter what she fucking does. Now, of course, attraction is, basically it comes from her. She's attracting a certain thing because she's putting out a certain vibe. I get that, right? But the bottom line is she doesn't understand what she's worth. She doesn't understand that she deserves better. When she truly finds out and believes it and understands it and believes it to her core, like she understands and knows it, that guy's going to come into her life like that, right? And that's what happened with Erin and I. That's exactly what happened with Erin and I, right? I knew what I was worth. I knew the type of person I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. And there she was. You know what I mean? A friend of mine who's been going down the same path that I was, finding themselves, being true to themselves, and really becoming the person they want to be and not who other people want to be or want them to be, or other people kind of push them to be, or just following a trend or anything like that. She was on that same path. And I started to feel very, very grateful. Not that I didn't feel grateful before, but feel very grateful that not because she was in my life, not because I had her as a wife, but because the universe, God, whatever you call it, brought her to me. Said, okay, Jerry, you're listening. You're paying attention. You know who you are at your core. You're giving it to the world. You're expressing it all the time now. You're ready. You're ready to have that other person in your life that'll stand by your side and makes you whole together because you're both grateful for each other. That's how it started. And it's one thing after another that, I lost my dad, right? And I was very upset that I didn't get to see him again. I felt like the worst son in the world, and I beat myself up for it all the time, and it still hurts me now, right? But I'm so grateful to have had a father for 41 years. I'm 43 now. 41 years, I had a dad. I had a father. There are people out there right now that don't have that and will never have that and will never know that, right? It doesn't matter the good, the bad times. He was my father. And he taught me the things that I do today. He taught me my work ethic. He taught me to do things right the first time so you don't have to do them again. He taught me things that make him live on through me. Like his genetics are in me, yes, but his personality's in me. His work ethic's in me. His stupid jokes, his corny jokes are in me. I'm grateful to have those. When I look in the mirror now and I have the longer hair and it's slicked back and the beard, I look like my dad. I look like him so much it's fucking uncanny. I look in the mirror and I only see my dad, which freaked me the fuck out at first. But I'm grateful that I look like my dad. He was an amazing guy, right? I mean, he had his flaws. We all do. But now that I understand him after he's gone, which sucks, I wish I understood him when he was here, I'm grateful that I had him while he was here. And I still have my mom. I'm 43 years old. My mom's still here. She won't be around forever, but I'm grateful that she's still here. I'm grateful to have a mom. I'm grateful that I can pick up the phone and I can say anything to my mom anytime and she won't think differently of me, no matter what it is. She's always been that way my whole life. No matter what, through drug addiction, through bodybuilding, through skateboarding, through playing in bands, through all of it. I've been able to say and do anything. And my mom would be there and fucking at least try to understand it. I'm grateful for that. You know what I mean? Like, if you notice the things that I'm saying that I'm grateful, money can't buy. You can't buy those things. Yeah, I'm grateful that I have a nice Lexus. I'm grateful that I have a surging business that's doing well. I'm grateful that we live in a great place, that I don't have to worry about where I'm coming home to at the end of the day. I don't have to worry about bills and stuff like that. I'm grateful for that stuff, but I'm grateful for the things that money can't buy, right? Money could not have bought that homeless guy explaining to me that he would, no matter what those shoes looked like or what size they were, 10 sizes too big, he was going to wear them because his feet hurt. I'm grateful for him saying that to me because I understand, right, that there are people out there that just want their feet to stop hurting. While the rest of us are pissed off about getting the new pair of fucking Jordans that came out or getting the fucking latest, whatever, fucking hoodie from Louis Vuitton, it's $5,000, right? Or even just going to the fucking club this weekend because you can't really afford it because you got bills and shit, going to the club with your fucking boys and getting tanked, right? We're pissed about that shit. This guy just wants a pair of shoes so his fucking feet don't hurt. What the fuck is wrong with us? So this girl doing this thing on Instagram, I'm like, she don't have a fucking clue. That's upsetting as fuck that they're now trying to market and monetize gratitude and they're coming up with a plan on how to become grateful. You can't. It's impossible. It does not work. You cannot say I'm seeking out to become grateful and then find it. That's not how it works. There has to be a connection between your head and your heart, your emotions, all of that stuff first. You have to know who you really are. This girl's on Instagram acting like it's a challenge. I'm like, if you think Instagram is the place to put that shit up right now and not do a video like this speaking from the fucking heart, talking about I'm doing 18 days of gratitude, I'm grateful today for my turkey I'm getting on Thanksgiving. Really? I was grateful for the water that I drank earlier. I was grateful that I woke up this morning because you know what? Right now, you know what? Some people are not going to make it to tomorrow morning. If I wake up tomorrow morning, the first thing I do is I don't grab my phone anymore. I used to dive into my emails. I give myself 10 to 15 minutes of not doing that stuff. And I lay there, usually Brady's with me, Aaron's going to work, and I pet Brady and listen to him snore, and I look at him, and I'm so grateful that he's in my life. I'm so grateful that my wife, who's at work, has found a job that she loves so much, a career, that she saves people's lives. She's on call. She got called in tonight after a full day of work, and she's at work saving lives. She's actually coming to the door right now here. So be aware, guys, that's what it is. It's not something that you can do just because you decide to do it. It's not something that you can figure out. It's not something that you seek out. It kind of finds you as you start maturing and learning who you are and just really searching deep down in your soul. But it's there for everybody if they want it. You just got to pay attention to what's going on around you and stop being trendy. Stop following the trends. Stop trying to be the ones that just do what everybody else does just for the hell of it and stop wanting more. It's not about wanting more. It's about wanting to be more. It's different. BossYouTrain@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. BossYouTrain.com is a blog. It's the Wanna Be More Bicep, and we are out.